My love, thank you so much for coming back to the podcast. Kia ora, pakalofa. I am so excited that you are here. And just before I was about to record, I remembered my beautiful sister, Olive, who sent this beautiful message to me about the podcast. And I want to share it with y'all. So she says, "Hey, lovely, just wanted to reach out and say your potties are so fire. I think for the last year or so, I've literally been looking for a podcast to listen to, but I never did seem to connect with any until I came across yours. And I'm so happy to finally be able to connect or even resonate with your podcast and what you're all about. Love, love, love." Oh, sis, thank you so much. I remember opening this message and I was like, this is the freaking beautifulest message you could have sent somebody. And it absolutely lit my day up and I love it so much. So thank you, sister, for your kind words. All the messages I get about the podcast do not, they don't go unnoticed, and I absolutely love opening those messages. So thank you guys so much for your feedback. And this week on the potty, we are talking about being selfish, or selfless. More like, being selfish, putting yourself first isn't selfish, right? It's being selfless. It's the right thing to do. It's the whole, like, you can't pour from an empty cup thing, right? You need to fill your cup first and then be able to pour into others. And I want to speak about this because a lot of podcast episodes and IG lives I've been doing lately have come off the back of my coaching calls that I've had with women, one-on-one calls that I have in the Vibe Tribe, and I do one-on-one coaching as well. And I know that if one woman is going through it, I know plenty of others can relate. There's so many things I share about my life. And I get so many messages like, "Oh, you too? Like, you've been through that too, or you feel that way too? What?" And I know, and I've experienced it too. It's like it just feels so good when you can, connect with someone and feel seen in somebody else and heard, and know that you're not the only one and that it's normal to feel the types of way that you're feeling and all the things. But it brings me to the fact that I think growing up, whether you grow up in an islander household or not, but with being islander, we are taught a lot to put others first. As even as women, put others first. Serve others. Really, yeah, look after others. Be that mother figure, that mother role, cook and clean, and all the things. And right, and I say in the islander, community, but I know so many other cultures can have similar, things. And it wasn't really till I moved to Australia, and I thought when I got into my coaching program, I was like, these women aren't going to understand me. I'm going to share stories and they're going to not know because it's just a Polynesian thing, right? But I would share my stories and they'd be like, "Oh, yep, I feel that too. Yep, been through a similar thing. Yep." So it's not even really, just your own culture. I feel like it is like people of color a lot. And I will reference that one thing that I was thinking about was like, I used to look at I was going to say not people of color, but like white people, right? And be like, damn, like they're so selfish. Like they're so self centered. They always put themselves first. They always, not like, I'll judge them. Like, what do you, like, you're freaking crazy. They put them and their families first, or not really community and all these things. And I don't even know if this is a right judgment, but just the people that I was around, right? Oh, you're so selfish and self-centered, and they'll make their plate first, or they're not really about other people and providing for other people, right? In the island community, it's a lot of giving back. It's giving money to different people, helping other people in the family, helping them up, lifting them up. But a lot of the times we're pouring from empty cups, whereas I feel like white people, and I don't say this in like any like it's no disrespect or anything. It's just observations, right? But I feel like they lift themselves up first. They go hundies on themselves. They, they're selfish or selfless, right? And they do all the things, and then they get themselves to a position where they've, whether it's buying a house or having a really really good job or all things, but they kind of get to the top and then reach back down for the others to help them up. Or sometimes they don't even help them up. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But for us, for, the Islander community, I feel like we're forever pouring from empty cups. We're giving money when we don't even have the money ourselves. We're giving time. We're giving, all the things that we don't even have ourselves. So it's just all these people pouring from empty cups. Nobody's got a full cup, right? Whereas I feel like the right thing to do is that person get the fullest of fullest cups, get to the top. They might have, gone on their own merry way for a long time, and then they come back for the rest and then slowly pour into their cups, and then everyone, starts to lift everyone up. Instead of all of us being freaking poor, all of us not having water, it's like at least some of us have water, right? And it's totally up to you as to what you want to see that in or as or whatever. And I wasn't even expecting to say that, but this is just free flow from my mouth to the podcast right now, right? But I want to talk about me. I want to talk about me for a minute. But when I used to live in New Zealand, I came from government housing, not really having much money, not really seeing. Yeah, there was a scarcity in a lot of ways. There was a scarcity, right? We lived in the hood. And my thing was, I want to get out of the hood. I want to make something of myself. I want to make money. I don't want to be poor anymore. I want to not have financial struggles, financial issues, and all the things. So I went on my merry way. Had got good income and stuff like that. I didn't really have a good money mindset, so I did get myself in a lot of debt, trying to do all the things and living outside of my means and all that kind of stuff. But and as far as it was like the car I was driving or the house I was in and stuff like that, it looked like I had it all figured out, right? And for moments there, I had to go on my own. But I would always be giving back to my family where I could, buying things, lending money, lending time, doing all the things. And I felt like I was giving so much. And this is no fault to my family. It's me, right? I'm taking responsibility for who I was being. And I was giving too much, if I'm quite frank. I was giving too much money, too much time, too much energy, and all the stuff to them, to my family. And that's what I wanted to do. Family was number one, back then. And it was at the detriment to myself. It was looking like me not having all the time to do all the things that I wanted to do, or having the times to work on myself, or get myself doing different things or amazing things, or things that I wanted to do, the self-care time, the having money for myself and saving and all the things, right? That was what was happening. But it was my choice and it was my decision to give back to my family. It wasn't that my family was like, give me this, give me that. I was allowing them, right? If they needed me to babysit, if they needed me to do something for them, if they needed money, I was the person that was saying, yeah, I got it. I got you. You can rely on me. And so they just always had this thing like, I can go to Leash when I need help, right? Leash will help me because that's what I kept doing. That's who I kept being. I kept helping. I kept giving myself to them. I didn't say no. I was people pleasing. I was trying to help so much. Um, and I feel like that's what you do. That's what you do with family. That's what we were brought up to know to do, right? Family first. Always have each other's back, stay close, look after one another, give where you can and all the things. But I think we need to stop doing it at a detriment to ourselves. We can't give if we don't got, right? It's like, okay, you've got your last $50. I need that $50 to buy food. And this is just hypothetical, right? But I need $50 to buy food for my food that week. But say my brother or my sister or my auntie, uncle, whatever is like, hey, Lee, you got $50 for me? What am I choosing to do? Yeah, okay, you can have this $50. And then I go without, I don't have that food. And then I get angry at that auntie or uncle or brother or sister or whatever because they took my last $50. But you're the person who gave it to them, sis. Like, you're the one who said, yes, I got you. You're the one, right? And then they keep coming back because that's all they've, that's all they've known to do. Leash got me. If I don't got money, I go to Leash. If I need help with time or, with babysitting or, with whatever, go to Leash. She got us, right? She doesn't have kids. She doesn't have anything else to do. She can help you, right? So that's what I was allowing for a very long time. And to be honest, I don't think I ever really stopped people pleasing back in those days. I really didn't put my foot down and say no, or, said no to anything. I really actually didn't. And I guess there were times where I'd just kind of move away from certain things, or just not show up to certain things and stuff like that. Not so much with my family, but with like friends, because I'd be like, oh, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. Like, you're not a vibe, all the things. But it wasn't until I moved to Melbourne. Um, and a lot of people, I think, find this, it's when you move away, or when you pull yourself fully out of the situations, it's where you can look back and be like, damn, did I like doing that? Is that something I like doing? Or is that something I want to do? All the things. And it wasn't until I moved away to Melbourne and I started my own life. I started my own journey away from my family and who they all knew me to be. And I could be, moving to another country is very interesting, because you're like, I moved to Melbourne not knowing anyone. My dad was here and his family, but yeah, I didn't really know anyone here. So it was like I could be literally anybody I wanted to, anyone I want to be right now. I could be her. I could make up a whole story. I could change, I could be someone else. Nobody knows me here. And I feel like that's what I started doing. I started becoming the person I wanted to be, my highest self. That was after, all the drugs and the alcohol and all that kind of stuff, but once I started, personal development and stuff like that, was like, wow, who do I want to be? Who do I want to show up? All the things. I had time to sit with myself and learn more about myself and what makes me tick and what my values are and what I stand for and what I don't stand for and all this. Because I didn't have, my brother, sister, auntie, uncle, mom, dad, whatever, asking me, oh, can you come over and do this, or you got to come to this event and that event. And because I'm in another country, they can't do that. Like, I've got all this time, right? They weren't asking me for money and stuff like that because I was in another country, so it was like, damn, like I could do, this is all of me. I can learn all about me. What do I want? For so long I was providing for other people. How about I provide for myself? How about I say to myself, I got you, leash? Always having these other people, who's got you? You got you, right? So I really was able to sit back and start looking after myself and what I wanted to do and my best interests and my higher self and all the kinds of things, and stop, looking at I was going to say, like, it's kind of like there is a cycle of us kind of like blaming, not blame, oh, sometimes it is blaming, but saying the reason why I can't do something is because of this person. But it's because you let that person do that thing, right? You let that person tell you that you have to go to these events or go to church or go to, your aunties and uncles for dinner every night, or your mum's house for, and all these things that your parents make you do. And it's like, when are you going to get to a point where it's like, hey, mum, hey, dad, like, I actually can't do that anymore. You know what? I don't want to do that anymore. And this is the reason why. It's because I want to work on myself and I want to I want to give a hand up. I'm tired. I can't afford to give you money. I've lost myself in this process. I don't even know who I am because I'm living for everyone else. And I'm living for you guys. I'm trying to please you guys so much, but I can't even please myself. So it goes back to, and I've talked about this before, having those hard conversations as well. Hey, mum, hey, dad, you know what? I've actually really been a people pleaser lately. I just keep saying yes when really I actually mean no. And I'm sorry that I said yes so much. And I've actually grown to resent you because I've said yes so much where I really actually meant no. And now I'm going to say no. I can't come to that event. I can't keep giving you money. I don't got the money for myself. I'm in so much debt. You can't stay at my house. I can't have auntie and uncle move in with me. Sorry. I don't want them here. They're not good for me. It's not a good vibe. It's so negative. I don't want to come to that event because I actually don't vibe with that family. All these things, right? Putting yourself first. And it's not selfish. It's you being selfless. It's you putting yourself first, giving yourself a hand up, you filling into your cup, filling up your cup, getting to the highest level, and then looking back down or looking to the side and being like, hey, fams, like, come with me, I got you, once you're sorted, and you may never be fully sorted. You may always be trying to get to the top, right? But don't don't give at the detriment to yourself. Don't give when you don't got. Like, if you've got $1,000 and that's for your bills that month, then you technically don't have anything. So when the family comes and says, "Hey, fam, can I have $1,000?" It's not you giving the money that's supposed to be for your bills. It's you being like, "Sorry, fam, I don't got it. I don't got it at all. Nope." That's them to take the responsibility of whatever situation they got themselves into. And that's how they learn. Because if you keep saying, "Yes, yes, I got you, got you, got you," that's all they're going to know. Leash got me, leash got me, leash got me. She's like, they'll just keep coming back till you say no, because you've always got them. So why would they not come to you, right? You've always allowed it to happen. So they're going to keep coming back. Um, but yeah, being selfish is, I don't even know if that's a word or whatever. I don't have some cute quote for you, but it's like it's selfless. Honestly, put yourself first. Say no. I think my coach says, be kind, say no. Instead of saying yes from anger and resentment, say no from love in your heart. You can't say yes and then have all this anger and resentment towards somebody because, they told you to watch their kids and you're like angry watching their kids, right? It's like, you're the one who said yes. Say no. And actually, I want to shout out to my little sister because I feel like she does this really, really well. Not gonna lie, when she first started doing this, there were moments of me like, fuck, she's a bitch. Fuck, she's so selfish. Can't you just help out? Can't you see someone struggling? Can't you help them? Kind of thing, to be honest. And if she's listening to this, I love you. I think I've told her this before anyway. But now it's something I really admire in her, because if she don't got it, she don't got it. If you want to go stay at her house and she's like, actually, I just cleaned my house. My kids are settled, or my other sisters who live with, everyone's all settled. I don't got the, I don't have the emotional capacity right now. Then she'll say no. If she doesn't want you at her house, or if she doesn't like your vibe, or what if she'll say no, right? And it's something that I look up to because, yeah, I think also looking at how you think of other people, like if you're judging them, how I used to judge her, like, oh, you're such a fucking bitch. You always put yourself first. You're so, help the family out. Like, can't you see we're struggling? That was the thought I had, for her. Can't you see they're struggling? Just help them out. But that's probably why I was always, people pleasing. It was because I had the fear of judgment. Oh no, they're going to judge me, right? Because I was judging other people, right? So setting those boundaries, setting those boundaries up and sticking to them, right? Is you and your family cool before you can take on anything else? Are you cool before you can take on anything else? Helping somebody else out? Are you good? Because you can't help. You can't help if you can't help yourself, right? If you're not good, you can't help. You don't got it, right? But that's it for this week's podcast episode. It's really just being like, hey, sis, or hey, bro, or whatever you identify as. Be like, you're not being selfish. If you feel like you're being selfish, it's actually not. It's you being selfless, and it's better for you, and it will help you in your life. And at first, you need to be happy first. What you need to be good first before you can help anybody else. It's that whole as a flight attendant, we always say, make sure you put your mask on first, before you put on your kid's mask or anyone else, before you start helping each other. And that's in our, we say that to the passengers, but that's also in our briefing and our work. What's the acronym, whatever, but it's like, first sit down, don your mask first before you help others. Put your mask on first, because there's no point in me trying to help you put on your mask where I don't got any oxygen going up into my freaking nose. So I'm going to die trying to help you. That's what we're doing. We're dying trying to help others. Put your oxygen mask on first. Put your oxygen mask on first, honestly. But that's it. That's it from today. Thank you so much for listening. Be selfish or selfless, whatever you want to call it. Set up those boundaries. Put yourself first. Always, always, above anything else. It's you first. Abso-fucking-lutely, sis. Love you. Ka kite. Koikia.